Hey y'all, happy Tuesday. So we had another great 24 hours of sales. And yesterday afternoon, I was able to process about 30 items we picked up this weekend. But today, I'm going to process even more. But can you believe I filled these 4 totes over 2 days of yard selling for $351. And we have one item that's sold from that shopping trip that is going to pay for almost half of it. Now that's what I call a good sale. But let's start with showing you some of the other things that sold that weren't nearly quite as expensive, but still great sales nonetheless. So a few months ago, we went to an estate sale and I picked up quite a few paperback books from this extensive collection that the person had of like horror, true crime, serial killer style books, which I knew would sell pretty good. And I paid roughly 50 cents a piece, including this Mother Love book. But wouldn't you know, this one actually sold for pretty good money. I paid 50 cents, it sold for $16.96, and it's actually going overseas to the UK. So that buyer must have really wanted it. Our next item going out is kind of a fun little story. So we went to an estate sale about a month and a half ago, and it was 2 sisters trying to sell their parents' stuff. And after I checked out with my other stuff, I saw this little crock with the geese on it, and I asked how much it was. They wanted $10. I said, that's a little bit too much. They asked, how about $5? And I said, I really don't want to pay that much. I'm going to resell it. But I told them, I was like, hey, this stuff is really hot right now, so if you are able to list on eBay, get it up there. And it turns out they actually have the whole dish set. So they were so grateful that I gave them that information. They gave me that crock for free, and it sold for $23.76. Sometimes admitting you're a reseller isn't such a bad thing. Now we have this little melamine Lion King cup going out that I found at the bins, paid about 25 cents by weight. It sold for $8.46. And we did sell some Pez overnight. The first set that we're looking for is going to be Kung Fu Panda. There it is. And I could probably start condensing these shelves down a little bit. Maybe start reclaiming some of the space for some of my other toys that I'm selling. And this set is personal as always. It sold for $4.95 and it's actually going to Norway. Now a different buyer came in right behind them and bought some more Pez, which I thought I was going to have to use my stool to get to, but it looks like I can probably reach them. It's going to be a pair of our summer cactus Pez, which are a limited edition set. They are from the United States, but still limited edition. They don't make them anymore. And so there's a little boy and a girl cactus here. Really cute summer set. Pez made these sets for a little while and they were kind of nice when they had them coming out. Personal as always, sold for $8.46. Now this next item I am going to need the stool for. And on top of that, I'm going to have to move some of these bins because I can't quite fit it in that little wedge I've left for myself. Really looking forward to getting my floor back. I'm going to try to behave myself on sourcing and get through the stuff that I have, but we know how that always goes. So the next item is a puzzle and it's up here on the shelf, but it is buried way in the back. I have a bunch of these like children's puzzles that I think are pretty fun, and we sold one of them. This is a Milton Bradley 24-piece Barney and Baby Bop puzzle. Really large pieces. Of course I had to build it, and all the pieces are there, so that was shown in the listing. So I picked this up at a yard sale for $1. It sold for $11.95. And our next item also came from a yard sale. This time it is a deck of playing cards, and I've got so many of them down here. It's probably going to take me a second to find the ones that I'm looking for. This is actually probably one of the first decks I bought to resell because we went to a yard sale and it was actually more like an estate sale with all the stuff they had, but it was conducted like a yard sale. And they had tons of these promotional packs of cigarette brand playing cards. And this one was open. It's Cool Mild Menthol. Paid $0.25. It sold for $6.95. Now our next order going out is going to take some reaching to get to, and I'm happy to do it because it's going to one of you guys. I heard the cha-ching for these 3 Beatles coffee mugs, indicating that he had sold, and then I got a message from Gavin saying he's a watcher and was happy to find something in my store that he could purchase. So he got these 3 different Beatles coffee mugs with different album covers on it. Got Let It Be, Abbey Road, and then Revolver. For whatever reason, they didn't put the Revolver image on the outside of the box. That's actually artwork-wise probably one of my favorite albums, that and Rubber Soul. I paid $3 for them at a yard sale. They sold for $24.95. Now, this next sale is actually 2 different items. This person made 2 purchases, and I'm not sure if they're a viewer or not, But Reed, if you are a viewer, thank you very much. Also, Gavin, thank you for your purchase. This person got a set of the 2 different packs of New Kids on the Block playing cards that I had. I paid $1, they sold for $5.95. But then they got another New Kids on the Block item that I had. And it might be the only other Blockhead item I have in my store, so I might just be down to the playing cards. Hopefully I'll find some more stuff soon. But they got a cassette tape. I really keep saying I'm going to organize these drawers and come up with some sort of system for how they're in here, but I haven't done it yet, have I? There it is, all the way in the back. This is New Kids on the Block, Hanging Tough cassette. Definitely one of the soundtracks to my childhood. And we picked this up with a bunch of other cassette tapes, this whole blue tub actually, which is like a bus tub. We got it from an estate sale company's like showroom sale. So I probably got 50 or 60 cassette tapes for $10. I paid $10 for the whole tub. But we're going to say I paid $0.25 for it just to make things easy. And it sold for $7.46. Going to a true blockhead, I guess. Alright, our next item going out is something that's been in my store forever. So a lot of you guys know I have a friend whose mother collected cat figurines and all sorts of things. Most of them were like sculptures from Japan and old Avon bottles, things like that. But in that collection was this one really weird, yet adorable little bud vase maybe. And it's handmade out of clay. It's got a little chip there on the foot, but it's a cat holding a ball of yarn, which is absolutely adorable. I got it for free. It sold for $5.91, and I'm happy it's going to suit a new home that someone is going to love it in as much as I've enjoyed having it around. Alright, so time for our sale of the day. And the one that we are talking about in the title of this video. So we mostly hit the large flea market areas this past weekend on the Route 11 yard crawl, but we did hit one neighborhood sale, and I found this Nikon Coolpix S8200 camera, which works, the flash works, the zoom works, tested it all. And it came with a 4GB memory card, the charging cable, and a case. I asked the seller how much she wanted for it. She's like, oh, it sells for like $300 new. How's $20? Yes, ma'am, absolutely. And I listed it last night. It sold for $160 overnight. Now remember, if you're shipping cameras, they need to go in a hazmat labeled package because of the lithium ion batteries. So I wanted to make sure you guys saw I packaged that correctly, or at least I think I did. Now we have a DVD set going out, and this is the complete series, not season, but series of That 70s Show. All the episodes, brand new, still sealed. Got it at an estate sale around the corner from my house for $3. It sold for $24.96, which, speaking of that, all of my media right now, DVDs, CDs, Blu-rays, VHS, cassette tapes, all of it, books, are on sale for 25% off through Sunday, so go check that out. Our last item going out is this new old stock, still sealed 1984 The Clapper. If you grew up in the time frame I did, it was like every commercial break you heard this song. I paid about $1 for it. It sold for $24.95. So we're really happy about the sales in this video. $30.25 was my cost of goods, and $340.67 was my grand total of sales, which is 11 times my money. And now I'm going to pack it all up and then take it all to the lovely ladies at the post office to have them headed to their new home. And we will see you guys soon with another video of what's sold.